That's Jim.
Jim?
Yeah.
And there's another picture you wanted.
I made this. Oh, the next
Oh,
picture.
you made that?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that in a minute. So that's some of the things you made.
Yeah. I still have the cobra skin pants that I made for him. There's the full picture of the one that was on the first page there.
That's you? And that's
yeah.
Jim?
Yeah, I cut Jim's hair on the plane that morning.
That's January? That's Jim right there.
And Jim said he needed a haircut. I said, lean over. So he leaned over. I made one cut like that and just layered.
And here's a pair of pants. January's creations right there. Another pair of pants you made.
I still have on the very back of my chapter here.
You wrote this book?
No. Frank Luciandro, the head of our film crew, wrote it. There, I still have these. Those are cobra skin that I made for Jim. Sotheby's offered me $250,000 for them. And I said they're not for sale. And then I ran into Lenny Kravitz down at Compass Point in the Bahamas. He said, I'll double whatever. I said, none of it's for sale. I still have 3 books of private edition poetry of Jim's. I've got manuscripts, handwritten.
And he was a personal friend of yours?
Yeah, we were like this.
Were you anywhere near him or with him during the last moments of his life?
No, I was up here, and I got a phone call from the office down in L.A. We had an office at La Cienega in Santa Monica,
yeah,
where Jim and I used to toss gold records out the window, like Frisbees.
That is great. So, when you first started to get to know him, eventually at some point it came up where you made clothing and that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, when I was going to design school at the Art Center, I had some electives, so I took pattern drafting and size gradation. We were walking down Santa Monica Boulevard one day, and he said, I want a pair of leather pants. I said, I'll make them. He said, yeah, I want them to look like soft, real leather, not unborn linoleum, was his comment.
Unborn linoleum.
Yeah, stiff.
That's a pretty good comment. That's a pretty good comment. So you made them.
Yep.
And then after that, you made another pair, and then you started making more clothing.
Started making more clothing, yeah.
How much would you say his stage wardrobe would you kind of participate in or help him?
About 11% of it.
That's great. Did you also say you were his cook?
Yeah.
You were a personal chef for him?
Well,
Or were you just a friend making food?
I was a friend making food. I wasn't paid to cook for him. 'Cause back then, we didn't eat that often. We drank.
You ate at home, you drank.
Yeah. We had a liquid diet. Which is one of the things that led to his death, excess alcohol.
You like to drink?
Yeah, and I haven't had a drink now in probably 20 years. But I found out that my wife means more to me than a bottle of booze.
That's a great
I
lesson.
cook with it. I have a full bar at home because I don't drink.
Yeah.
It's for guests, and I've got a big wine cellar.
I've never been good with alcohol myself. Johnny doesn't drink a drop.
Do you show your friends the clothes and the poetry books?
From time to time, yeah.
Were you employed by him? Did he pay you to make this?
And I told him, I said, you know, I'm making way too much money. He said, it's free money. He said, Tommy Tucker, and here's the name of the book. He said, Tommy Tucker sang for his supper. This is a feast. So
that's
great
awesome.
stuff. When you were just hanging out with him, would he constantly speak in little rhymes like that, or what was he like to be with?
Well, he was always carried a notebook with him.
Always.
Regardless of how messed up he was. Yeah, one time we had a car and driver taking us from my place in the city down to L.A. and we went down Highway 1 and we stopped at Nepenthe in Big Sur. And this was back in '66. We ran up a $900 bar bill, which is pretty intense for that.
A lot of money in '66.
We were buying drinks for everybody.
Sure.
And around midnight, Jim wanted a 6-pack of wine to go. So I ordered a 6-pack of wine to go, but they wouldn't sell it to us. So we picked up a couple of their director's chairs and tossed them in the fire pit.
Oh my God.
I went back the next morning and gave them, the address of the office.
To pay for it all.
To pay for it, yeah.
Was that typical at night for you, or was that a little different?
Yeah, it was an average night. Well, plus we took yahe that night, which is a South American poison drug. So the driver took us up from Nepenthe up to Big Sur Lodge. And the yahe started coming on, and Jim lit fire to my hair from the back, and the driver covered me with his coat, and burning hair stinks. The next thing I know, they opened the rear door with me. and this place is built on a hillside, and I start to come onto this intense psychedelic. You get very sick, and then you get very hallucinogenic. And as I'm getting sick, they opened the door again with Jim. They tossed us both out, and we're leaning over the railing. As we started to get sick, the railing broke. We both tumbled down the hill, and I can remember both of us crawling around in the parking lot on our hands and knees, looking at hubcaps to find out which car was the one that we were supposed to be in the back of.
Oh my God.
You know, it's hard to do this without laughing the whole time. Is that kind of like what the experience was with? Were you guys? Was it a laugh a minute? Were you guys?
Yeah, there were serious moments.
Serious moments.
But
Did you travel with them the whole time?
yeah,
Did you guys fly privately or commercial?
we did both. Most of it was, and that was funny because we'd get on a plane, and Mr. and Mrs. Got Diamonds and Got Mink didn't want us on their plane because we were the unshaven and the unshorn, right?
Right.
So invariably, some local top 40 DJ would have found out what plane we were on. We'd be flying in, and then they'd have to stop their plane. So our cars would come out on the tarmac and let us get off the plane.
Wow.
And one time we were in this hotel in Chicago, and it was the same huffy ladies. They were talking to the GM. Well, you know, we've been coming here for 20 years, and we don't need this kind of riffraff around. And the GM says, well, shh, man, they can afford to buy